Very good morning. Welcome to Chicago. My name is Thane Hansen. You might hear that I'm not from here. I'm from Belgium. So English is not my first language, but we'll dig through it. Very happy to be here again in Chicago. It's kicking off Lab Day. We have a lot of exciting stuff to talk about for the next 3 days. And before we get started, it's also a pleasure to introduce to you Neil McCaffrey and Marc Murray. So Neil is our Vice President, General Manager, Dental at 3D Systems, and Marc is our Global Sales Director, Dental. Marc will talk later a little bit about some interesting things that we can do with our new solutions. But Neil, I'm gonna let you kick it off.
Great.
And talk about 3D Systems Dental.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a little bit of background before we get into it. Who we serve, obviously we've got a deep experience with additive manufacturing across multiple different industries, including dental. We've been active in dental for decades and largely in the clear aligner space, and through the acquisition of NextDent several years ago into the material space and smaller format printers. We really support over 1 million parts a day today in the dental realm. One of the great things that so I joined the organization about 6 months ago in the summer of last year, leading the dental business, and we've recently been rolled into our broader healthcare organization, which is really exciting because do a lot of work in trauma, craniomaxillofacial, a lot of adjacent areas to the dental space that gives us access now to new materials. If you have a peek at our website, you can see a lot of the press releases. We launched, PEEK implants and things like that for cranial implants. We've got the multi-material jetted denture, which is the session right after this, and I think folks will start trickling in for that. That was a very exciting event yesterday. And there's been a renewed focus, I would say, on integrating the NextDent business with the 3D Systems, and really brings to bear a powerhouse in terms of a very full pipeline of new innovations that we believe are very meaningful and meet the needs of the dental lab businesses today. Where we really apply these additive manufacturing principles and knowledge and really solve the problems that exist. We know that getting skilled labor is becoming harder and harder. The number of CDTs are declining rapidly in the US and more broadly around the world. And we're really committed, right? We work through a great group of partners right now, particularly in the US, really to come alongside the dental laboratories, and we're going to have actually I have a slide on this, I think. But we're really going to be bringing forward a lot of clinical training activities to come alongside shoulder to shoulder to really help implement additive manufacturing in the lab space. And I would say our NextDent 5100 has been around for a little while, and it's a closed system. But all the materials, you can come and see the samples of all the different indications that are made possible with that system, and with other platforms we can go much bigger, we can go smaller. But they're also available on other third-party printers, which helps keep us honest in terms of giving you a headache-free, complete solution. And our software is a real differentiator too, and you'll see that if you stick around for the denture presentation. And really looking at dental with that renewed focus, where we really talk about straightening, protect, repair, and replace, right? That's the full life cycle in dentistry, and we have all of these different solutions today, right now, with our 3D Sprint software. Like I said, a full range of hardware, and it's not, we also have a metals. We can do cobalt chrome, we can print titanium. All of these different applications are possible with a full, probably the largest array of resins available that have been approved in the dental space. So really exciting stuff. So I'm going to turn it back over to Stain to kind of dive a little bit deeper. Just wanted to thank you for your time, just to give you a little bit of insight.
Neil?
Oh, thank you.
So,
sorry.
We're going to do a little back-to-back session. This is the kind of what's new at 3D Systems and NextDent session. But of course, we have at 10 a.m. our big new announcement of our jetted denture solutions that we will start. But talking about new things and innovation, it's always important to look back where we actually came from. And in the US, not a lot of dental labs or customers might know Vertex Dental, but Vertex Dental is a company founded in the Netherlands in 1939, so a long time ago. And they were actually specialized in making all kind of dental materials for denture bases, tooth materials, even orthodontic materials. Hearing aid is actually one of the biggest markets in the past that they had as well. So that was a good, steady business for a very long time. Family-owned business, once again in the Netherlands and Europe. They had a good ride, of course, but then the digital world started developing. And it was in 2012, or a little bit before that they suddenly saw a decline in the material sales for the hearing aid industry, which was a big shock because it was really like from a good level all the way down in 1 year to almost zero. And a little bit of an investigation by the management at that time that learned them that what happened actually is that there's no new competitor, or it's not that people don't need hearing aids anymore, but all these companies making these hearing aids started using 3D printers. So that in 1 year, that whole market was disrupted, material sales went down. And at that moment, the management of Vertex Dental, they actually decided, they said, okay, they visioned that if this will happen in the hearing aid industry, for sure this will happen in the dental world, and we don't want to be surprised, but we want to pioneer. And this is where they founded NextDent. So NextDent was founded in 2012, based upon years and years of knowledge and experience in dental materials, the analog way. We're bringing it into the digital world, making it UV curable, partnering with different printer companies at that time. Rapid Shape was one of the first companies in Europe, from Germany as well, that we partnered with. Making the materials available on that printer. And then, of course, 2017, 3D Systems made the acquisition of the whole Vertex Dental company. We developed the Figure 4 technology. 3D Systems was developing the Figure 4 technology, made the NextDent 5100, and since 2018, this is on the market with great success. So a little bit of history where we're coming from a pure material company combined with a pure technology company, the pioneer in 3D printing, and the first Chuck Hull, inventor of SLA, still our CTO today. So it's a great combination, bringing those histories together. Today, we are still very much focused on our material portfolio. So this is the whole range of NextDent resins that we have available. The 5100 is still our workhorse. It's real. It's a printer that is enabling labs to do high production, but also a vast variety of products. So you can actually print all these resins on that printer and easily swap the materials and print, for example, a few dentures, some crowns and bridges, some models. So we'll talk about the 5100 later a little bit more. But all our resins are, of course, also open material. So our resins can be used on other printers. There are a lot of good and decent printers on the market today, and we partner with these companies. So we really go out, partner with these technology companies, making sure that a customer that wants to use our resin, while they have an Asiga printer or, for example, Accurata, what else, Frozen, you can see on the list, Prusa, Shining 3D, Extra 3D, which is actually a big production machine. We partner with these companies, making sure that our materials not only work, but also work plug and play. So to minimize the burden on the customers, we cannot, when we make it on the NextDent 5100, it's completely controlled by us. There goes weeks and months of developing and testing in those build styles and making sure that it works. With these printers, we try to kind of give the same service to our customers. Of course, it's still a third-party printer, but that's why we have actually a list of printers that we can say, okay, this works, and you can also see the checkboxes on which materials work on these printers or have been validated by us, right? Let's talk a little bit about models. I'm not sure, I assume everybody can recognize that the vast majority of print jobs currently being done in dental, or already for many years, are still dental models. Digital dentistry is all about going modelless and going fast and going maybe even chairside, another buzzword. But we see today still majority of all print jobs around the world are dental models. Why is that? Because there is a lot of applications in the lab that still require a model, or even if it's just to put or to place your milled or printed crown on the model to ship to the dentist, for example, if just as a display or a transportation model. So last year we launched and announced our new model material. For those who follow us a little bit longer, we had model in the past and model 2.0 for a lot of years. So we switched back to model. This is one material, comes in 4 shades. We have the white, gray, peach, and sand color. Sand color is a little bit of a lighter color, so that's the right in between peach and white. What makes this model so great? Ask our customers. Everybody that started using this model material, they love it. The material has a non-shiny surface, so it's a little bit of a matte surface, making it look more like a stone model, a gypsum model from the past. You don't need to shake it, pre-mix it. It's just a little handshake before you use it for the pigments. Make sure that everything is well dispersed. But it doesn't go on the roller bank for many hours. You can immediately use it. The print quality is really, really good. The accuracy on these printers that we have validated is very high. And once again, the model is just not looking like a plastic model anymore, which sometimes is the case with 3D printed models. It's really, really like a high-end prosthetic model. We also made a separate model for orthodontic applications, well, thermoforming applications, I must say. Why did we do that? Because, of course, when we develop a model material with all these nice features that I was just talking about, there is a little bit more chemistry involved. The raw materials are a little bit higher level, a little bit more expensive. But when you are thermoforming, when you are making a clear aligner, for example, on a model, you only use that model once and then you're finished. So you want to have this as cost-effective as possible. That's why we developed this material. It comes currently in this orange shade, kind of a joke because it was developed and it's produced in the Netherlands. And for those who know, orange is the color from the Netherlands. And it was made in this color because, again, it doesn't matter which color it is. You just thermoform it. If you look at the biggest aligner producers in the world, that we also partner with, of course, they are actually doing this on transparent models or glass-like models. It doesn't matter what they look like. It's an economic solution, so it's the lowest priced material that we have, giving you the best DCO or the best cost per part just to thermoform your parts on. And this is a shiny model, it's low contrast, it doesn't have all these nice features that I was just explaining with the model material. And that is, of course, to keep the price low and just to have it for this intended use. We are going to add a new shade called ivory, so it's more like a two-shade material, a white model material soon. It will be coming later this year. So you can choose between orange, but if you don't like it, you can also have a white material. So what are we doing with these models? Some of you might know, but we are the biggest provider of clear aligner models in the world. So we provide technology and material to the biggest clear aligner manufacturing centers in the world. But we have solutions for the smallest labs all the way up to the big manufacturing centers. What you see here on the screen, some of you might know this, is our figure 4, or the NextDent 5100 printer that you see right there. And this is a DLP printer, which means that it doesn't have a big platform. It doesn't have a huge platform. We cannot put a lot of models next to each other. But it's super fast. It's really, really fast. And it has a Z height that is very interesting to use. In dental printers, you usually see we are only using a few centimeters, sorry, European, I don't know, an inch or two, from the Z height. And we looking at that printer a few years ago, we said, okay, we have so much height, why can we not print more models by stacking them, by just putting them on top of each other? So we started doing that, and Neil mentioned our software, so you take your model and you start to position it, and you position the other. You're like working 5-10 minutes on the job, and then you have to support all that, and supports are everywhere, and there's a lot of material waste. And we said, okay, this can be done better. So that's where 3D Sprint, or our software, comes in. And we automated that completely. It's a one-click solution. You just have 40 or 30 models in your software, STL files in your software, and you click one button. Automatically, all these parts get positioned and oriented on top of each other. They are made hollow, you can see here, hollowed, with an enforcement grid inside, automatically created also on the inside of the U-shape, just to make this, keep the stability during printing and post-curing. Added a few extra supports where needed, because of course we cannot print in open air, so you have to have, on down-facing surfaces. You have to have some supports. None of this is made manually, it's just one-click solution, and it's printed on the 5100 in less than 2 hours. So high speed, we have low delamination force, so that means that we don't need a lot of support. Automatic software nesting, and you are printing, depending on the size of your model, something between 25 and 40 models. I think the biggest job that we have ever done was 42 models in less than 2 hours. Another good thing about it, I'm not sure, yeah, you can see it here a little bit, is we have these notches on these connections, all automatically designed in the software. So after printing, of course, you wash the parts, you post-cure them, and then you can just snap them off, break them off very easily. No tools required, you snap them off, put them in the thermoforming device in the Mini Star or whatever, and you can make your clear aligners. Perfect solution, entry level, let's say in price, ideal for the dental lab. But of course, we have big solutions as well. What you see here is our SLA 750, actually dual laser. So this is a laser-based system, not a projector-based system. In the past, we had the Pro X800 with a single laser, the 750 also with a single laser. Now we have dual laser, which just increases the productivity. Also, again, with a completely developed workflow, starting from 3D Sprint, TrueShell, I will talk about that in the next slide, but it's a similar automation in the software to prepare your files. Of course, we still have Octon or job manager software, so connect the whole process, all the hardware together. We have our printer. There is a big washing installation that you can see on the screen that we use, and then our big post-curing unit for big platform printers. So, what makes this solution special? First of all, you have a huge platform. So all the models are placed horizontally flat on the platform. You can see it here on the side. So this is one platform that we can print. And again, a software tool that really optimizes the workflow, but also the production, making the parts automatically hollow with, again, a reinforcement structure. You can see here that a solid arch is about 14.3 grams, and we bring it back to 8.6 grams. That's pure material savings for you. Yeah, go ahead.
Is Align still using the SLA systems?
They are using our SLA systems, yeah, for many years. So, single click, high precision, automatically 200 models on one platform. And actually, you can see here 210 arches placed on this platform, 125 micrometer layer lines, so not huge lines or layer heights. Models are reduced to 2 millimeter wall thickness. And you can see if you have the single laser machine, it will take about 5 hours to print that platform. But with the dual laser, you're in less than 4 hours, this platform will be printed. So it's high productivity if you consider in less than 4 hours, 210 arches. A complete developed workflow where you can actually place the platforms inside the wash and take it from the wash to the cure, and then even continue to automate if you want for thermoforming. So we have 5100 lab. We have this solution manufacturing centers. So you really can imagine that this is a lot of aligners every day. But we have recently announced a new product, which is actually filling that spot right in between, or even for bigger manufacturing centers, increasing the productivity even more with a smaller printer, which we call the PSLA. So we talked about projector-based printing with the 5100. SLA means laser-based systems. Now we have the PSLA, which is a projector-based SLA system. On the drawing, you can see on the right side, you can see on the top 2 projectors. 5100 and other DLP printers, they have the projector from the bottom, and you pull your parts actually from the vat, from the resin tray. Here we go upside down, so the projectors are on the top. You have a vat of resin with a platform that goes inside the resin. So you have different mechanics, so it means no delaminations anymore. There are no pulling forces on the platform. You have less supports that you need. But because it's a projector-based system, you actually get all the material benefits and the speed from our DLP, from our Figure 4 system. So we can use the exact same resins that we used on the projector-based systems here on this PSLA. And it has like the best wall features, accuracy. It's a really, really nice system. So you can see the printer here, PSLA. It's not a very big printer, but it's a standalone system. With, as you can see, the projecting of the slice on the left side on the screen, and then the finished dental models on the platform on the right. So this is 1/4 of the 750. So the 750, if you take 4 quadrants of the platform, this is one of these platforms. So mainly interesting for more, let's say, turnaround, faster turnaround. So you have about, 28, I think, models or 30 models that you probably, the exact time is not on the screen, but it will be something between 30 minutes. We're still optimizing 30 to 40 minutes. So you have every 30 minutes, you will have a new job that you can post-process, start a new print. So for clear aligner production centers, from the smallest lab to the biggest production center, we have a solution. And we have also a team that supports that. Neil talked about the application group, the application team, what we call the AIG group. There are 2 guys sitting there right in the middle. You don't want them, they don't want you to look at them. But speak to them in between the sessions, talk to them. They know everything about these solutions. From the smallest lab to the biggest production center. Not to forget our little LCD one. So even if you are a small shop, you only have a few models per day that you need to print, LCD one or LCD technology printer is a great solution as well. Touched on it a little bit, but we are very proud on the fact that actually more than 1 million models per day are printed with our technology and with our materials. So that's a huge number. Just imagine 1 million models per day that are around the world coming to life and being used to make clear aligners. Thank you so much.